We see not only in the gospel, but in the tradition of the church, that the Lord doesn't necessarily do things according to the way we would think. I'm not sure how many people who would come up to one of us, how many that we would say to them, basically, I can't give you anything because I would be giving it to a little dog. But that's what Jesus says. And he knows how to test our faith in particular, to see what's in us, to see what we're made of. We see in today's optional memorial that we're celebrating the Feast of Our Lady of Lourdes, in the very unfolding of the apparitions of Lourdes, we had some very unlikely circumstances going on. The grotto of Massabielle, which today is a beautiful shrine to Mary, was a trash heap. So when the first rumors of the apparition started, people were actually scoffing at the fact that somebody might say that they were seeing a woman. Bernadette didn't say it was Mary until later. That a woman would be appearing to anybody at a trash heap. And yet we see God likes to do things differently than we do. Likewise, during the midst of the apparitions, at one point, Our Lady asks Bernadette to dig, to drink from the stream. And there was no stream except for the Gave River. So she goes to turn to that, and Mary's like, no, the stream. And she points down. And Bernadette has to start digging through the mud. And again, the scoffers who begin to say, look how undignified is this supposed visionary. And yet, God does what he wants the way he wants. Even when Mary did finally reveal herself to Bernadette, when she finally told her who she is, she said, I am the Immaculate Conception. And the theologians scratched their heads at how Mary would call herself the Immaculate Conception and not, I am the result of the Immaculate Conception. So we want to recognize that since God does things differently than we would imagine, that we want to be willing to be used by him. If he could pick Bernadette, a very uneducated peasant girl, to not only receive apparitions of the Blessed Virgin Mary, but then to even become a saint, how much can he do through us? The point about the saints, the point about the things that we talk about here is that none of us is so special that God can't do what he wants with us. In fact, he loves us all so very much. And he'll even check to see what's going on within us. Do we really have faith in him? Will we really push for what God has inspired us to ask for? The woman in the gospel today did just that. When Jesus turned around and said, let the children be fed first, for it is not right to take the food of the children and throw it to the dogs. She didn't get offended and walk away. Instead, she said, yes, but at least the little dogs still eat the scraps from the children's table. In other words, we want to have that faith that says that God has promised us certain things. And because of that, we're going to maintain our firm resolve, even in the midst of an answer that might seem like a no from God, that we keep on keeping on. The Lord definitely said that when we are to pray, we are to keep praying, that if unholy people, by the mere fact that somebody would be continually persisting, would eventually give in, how much more would our good Father in heaven give to us when we persist in our prayer? So we ask the Lord today for the humility that it takes to be men and women who are firm in our faith, willing to persevere, willing to recognize that God wants to do something through us, even in our lowliness. Which is greater, an apparition of Mary or the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist? Right, the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. So, if an apparition of Mary can turn a trash heap into a healing shrine, what can the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist do in and through you?